Hello, I am Jebro. This is Jeb. He is my Guardian, and he is currently running with the Guardian Support Bunker meta build, which is played currently at the top end in Spvp competitive level anyway. There is different variations here and there, but this is a build which is kind of shared. Guys like Tage and Freylina might be playing this build still at the moment. They do have little tiny changes here and there, but there isn't much changed in this build. I'm going to explain it in my terms and the way I play it and the way I use it. They could probably add a lot more, and hopefully they'll comment on this video somewhere or in the forums. So basically, I'm going to go through. I'll quickly explain exactly what sigils I've got and which runes I have as well. So we are going for a full set of runes of the soldier. As you can see, it does give you vitality and toughness. The main reason that this is chosen as a rune set is because of the shouts which remove a condition. Also, obviously, it is good for toughness and vitality, but the shouts removing condition is very good. I have 3 shouts. So when I remove a shout, I remove a condition on me, which is very, very useful for a Guardian. I mean, conditions are pretty much one of the main reasons I go down. I can block a lot of burst attacks that come up on me, but conditions are a pain in the arse, especially from Necros. They really are not very fun. So that's that. I'm going to go over to the weapons very quickly, using the Mace, which has got the Sigil of Superior Life. Now Guardians are playing more of a support role in team fights as well, so this is actually a lot more useful than it used to be, because you used to just bunk on a point as on your own, and I've always tried to roam basically around the map to get in those team fights. So when you get a kill, you do get a stack of 10 healing, and that can be a maximum of 25 stacks, so you can go up to 250 extra healing on your healing stat, which is so good to have if you can get it. And I do normally run around in matches from about probably 15 to 25 stacks most of the time. So then going on over to the focus, going to go for the energy sigil, which actually gives you extra endurance, which I will explain why that is very important when we move over to the traits. So when you switch to this weapon set, you do get 50% of your bar filled, so that's an extra hull dodge, which is very, very good. Do have the energy on the staff as well, so I have stacked that up twice. The cooldown is 9 seconds, but I'm not usually switching in that 9 seconds, and I can't anyway because weapon swap. So on cooldown, so that does often come up off cooldown when I need it. Again, I'll explain some other bits and pieces as we get to the traits. Going for the Cleric's Amulet, which is kind of obvious. It's got the healing power and the toughness, and it's got a bit of power there. Power isn't really that essential in this build, but obviously the healing power and the toughness is, and is probably the best amulet to have in this build as well. So moving over to the traits, we have a 0-5, 30-35. This is a standard kind of meta at the moment, the way it's played out. I can't see it changing a massive amount in the new patches, which I think are coming at some point this year. But basically, at the moment, this is a very, very popular build, and I would say the most played bunker support Guardian build at the moment. There's variations like 0-0, 30-22, and there is a lot of variations. So if you're in the bottom 3 trees, pretty much you're doing it right, and it's a lot to do with the way you play the build as well, and how you play as a player. I mean, some people are going for meditations in their build, some people are going for for some consecrations. It all depends on how you play as well, but at the moment, really, in the high end, this is pretty much the main build that people are playing. I'll go through it and I'll explain a lot of why that is as well. So in the Radiance, the 5 in Radiance is very good. It does give you a blind, which is an AoE blind as well, on 5 targets when you're using Virtue of Justice. So when you do use that, a lot of the time, I use it for a lot for blinding when I want to down an enemy, and I literally have no stability, I have no blocks, I have nothing else, I'll use that, or I'll also use that in combination with going for a down, because then I can't get knocked as well, hopefully on that moment in time. So that blind is very good for making sure that those guys can't get off those attacks unless they're invulnerable or something like that. So it is a very useful trait, especially because it's an AoE one as well. It does give you a tiny bit of precision and condition damage, but that isn't essentially what you want to, the reason for it either. Pardon me. So, going into Valor, which is Valor and Honor are the two main trait lines in this build. For the minor trait in the Adepts, they gain Aegis when you're struck while below the health threshold. So Aegis blocks an incoming attack, as you can see, and the amount of time, 3.25 seconds, which, if you're below 50% health, it can really, really help you out. It can help block a little bit of extra damage, and you can get a little bit, but if you've got an endurance dodge up, you can get that healing up as well at the same time and get your health up. And it does help to mitigate a tiny bit of damage. Not a massive amount, but it does help. So moving over to Purity, which is probably one of the most popular traits the Guardians have. Lose conditions at a set time interval. You only lose one condition every 10 seconds, but it's a free condition removal if you're not using that. It's just a given in this build. It removes a condition every 10 seconds. That's it. It's fine. Virtue of Courage is recharged when you rally, so when you get up from being down, from down state, you do get Virtue of Courage back as full cooldown, which is very good. You can pop that up when you come back up as well to give yourself some protection, and also Aegis as well to the rest of your team on the block. So it is a good minor trait to have. Not massively important. It's not going to be like game breaking or anything, but it's an extra thing for that survival, especially when you get up. So going from this is a different trait that you can have. You can have different things. At the moment, I'm actually going for Strength in Numbers. Strength in Numbers gives you 150 toughness based on the effective level, and it's an interval of 3 seconds. This is permanently up while you're in combat, pretty much. I've been testing it. It literally doesn't go down. So your toughness, it does go up to 150 toughness. I'm not sure what based on effective level actually means. I can't find out where. So if anyone actually knows what that means, I'm guessing it's a something to do with PvE level, or maybe it's how high my toughness is. But basically, I do give out 150 toughness to all my allies and myself. It is a really, really good trait to have. I'm not sure. You can go with this, or you can go with what I just had, which is Mace of Justice. It's really... It doesn't... Either or is really quite good. I mean, healing power extra 250, but that's only when you're in your Mace. It's not... When you've got Strength of Numbers up, you do permanently have that 150 toughness addition, and it actually affects your toughness as well. I can quickly show you that after I've actually gone through the whole of the traits, so if you don't want to watch that, you don't have to. But when you use Mace of Justice, your healing power does go up by 250, and it increases your healing a lot, especially when we go through later in the Honor line. When you dodge, you can dodge heal, and you can heal an extra 300 HP per dodge. So that's quite a lot, and especially when you've got things like Empower on Star 4, and you've got... Sorry, why do I keep forgetting that name? Virtue of Resolve when you activate, and that heal is very big as well. Any kind of healing you're doing in this build, it does increase it a lot, and I do change it around from time to time, but I prefer personally Strength in Numbers, just because of that extra toughness, and for all my allies, which is even more important for you getting into those team fights where you can actually offer up even more support, giving some healing and then giving that extra 150 toughness. And to squish your players, that's going to help a lot. That's a big number. Pardon me. Okay, so going to the Grandmaster, and going for the minor traits. So might have the Protector again, might when you block attacks. So blocking a lot, Aegis, block heal, and Aegis again when he comes back up if you get downed. Also the Shield of Wrath block on Focus 5, sorry. These are all really important blocking traits, basically. So you can get that. I mean, it's not, again, it's nothing game breaking. You gain might, you're not doing much damage anyway, but it's going to help you actually do some damage in the first place. It's going to increase your damage if you're blocking. So it's a nice addition, but nothing major. So altruistic healing, applying a boon to allies heals you. So that's a good one to have. Altruistic healing is very nice. So we're gonna, when we are applying boons to anyone, so it's swiftness, I guess, anything from, you know, stand your ground, so when people gonna get stability off you, loads of stuff like that. Also, hold the line is very good, when protection and regeneration, and you're also going to be getting healing as well, and that's not actually going to be affected at all because you're not giving boons, but it is a bloody good trait, and you can heal a lot off it as long as you're getting boons. Giving boons to allies, then you are really gonna be staying up a lot, and it's when you're actually in a fight and you're at about 1 or 2k HP and you can actually offer up boons to your allies, you can notice your HP going up fast, or the fact that your HP is just not going down, and you're thinking, Jesus, that's really ridiculous. So basically, you're giving support, and that's another reason why being in a team fight, being in a support role for your team is important. If you're sitting on a point on your own, you're wasting a lot of the traits that are in this build. This build is a support heavy build. There may be times when you are stuck on a point on your own because you need to hold it, but that's, you know, you've got enough survivability to hold it until your teammates come and save you, because otherwise, you know, the aim isn't to survive forever against two people, because it's just not going to happen unless you're probably Tage or Frelina or something. But you know, that's a very essential trait line for team support. So going into the honor line, we're going to look at vigorous precision first. So give vigor when you deliver a critical hit. Now this doesn't happen very often. You don't crit much. You haven't got much crit chance. But when it happens, you get some extra endurance regeneration, which is always nice. So going to superior area, which is in the adept line there, it's recharge shouts reduction. Basically, you know, we got free shouts. The recharge is important to have, so those will be recharging quicker. You will be able to get out more condition removal. You will be able to get out more regen, more protection, more condition removal, and stability to make sure you can get those downs, and a bit of extra retaliation as well. So in the master section of honor, we do see selfless daring, which is the end of your dodge roll, heals nearby allies. This is one of my favourite minor traits in the game, the smaller trait before the main trait, I mean. The heal is massive. When it says healing 741, that's the base heal. That is not the top end of the heal. I have calculated at the moment I'm getting 1,352 healing per dodge, and that's without using the without using the Mace of Justice trait. So, as some information for this trait, if you want to be dodge healing quite a lot, and you're going to be using, so this is why you've got the extra sigil on the staff for the endurance regeneration, and also on the focus as well, offhand. You want to be getting up endurance as much as possible, because your healing it goes through the roof, especially when you go into Mace. So if you are going to dodge roll and you are going to use that Mace trait, you want to be dodging when you've got the Mace in your hand, because it's going to improve your healing by about 250 per dodge, which is very useful. So if you are going to dodge, make sure you're weapon swapping to the right point where you've got max dodges on your Mace, and you can provide the most healing. I mean, it is so good how much healing you can do, and it is a very underrated minor trait, which sometimes people, when they might not go into this trait line enough to get that. But I think if I'm going to run any kind of support bunker roll with a Guardian, I'm going to have selfless daring as one of the main things I'm going to have in that, because the healing is very good. Okay, so Shield of Absorption. This is something which people started to use a lot more in the recent months. So you're creating a dome around you that pushes foes back and absorbs projectiles. Now, when someone goes down, they're going to be putting a lot of pressure, a lot of cleave damage as well down on that body. So from range, someone's going to be ranging. It will be absorbing all projectiles. So thieves, rangers, anything that's got any kind of ranged projectile, it will be blocking those attacks. So it's very, very good to have that. It's going to take the edge off the actual bunker and support guardian as well, going down for the res, which is very, very important. So yeah, it's great, especially if you can get so many bodies on as well. The chance of that guy getting up are very, very high. That bubble is very important. There are other options, of course, that you can actually go for. But I'd suggest that that's probably one of the best. I mean, Pure of Heart is pretty good for survival of yourself again. All symbols heal allies is also very good. So it's really, you can mix and match it, but I found that is very, very good. Okay, so going to Grandmaster, which is Elusive Power, the minor trait, deal more damage while your endurance is not full. That doesn't happen a lot. So you want to keep your endurance full for as much of the time as possible. So I do believe that won't actually affect your match too much. So going to Pure Voice now, which is the final trait line in Honor. Allies affected by shouts have conditions converted to boons. So if you're removing conditions from your allies, it's wow. This is so good, this trait. I love it. It's just awesome. I mean, converting a condition to a boon, and then you're giving that boon to that player is then healing you. Essentially, that should be the way it works. Whether it does 100% of the time, I'm not 100% sure. So it does feel like these two kind of traits go hand in hand almost, if that's the way it works. But I haven't fully tested it, and I'm not sure. And someone may shoot me down for that, but that's how it should work in theory. So things like hold the line, stand your ground, and it should work with Save Yourselves. Not 100% sure. It should, in theory, it should work. So when with Save Yourselves, essentially you're removing conditions and you're bringing them to yourself, and you're gaining all the boons. And it's a very short duration that you get those for. It does say conditions converted to boons 1 there. So I do believe that should work the same on other players. So if you're removing all their conditions, you should be getting some boons back. Which in turn then will, with altruistic healing, that's going to heal you as well. So it's a very nice combination of traits here, and they all work quite well together. The synergy in this build between the traits, between the sigils, between the runes, it's just, it all works together well. Forgive me if I have said something wrong. It's slightly incorrect. I am doing this live again for a couple of YouTube viewers who actually requested that I just quickly explain this. And if there is anything that I haven't explained fully, or you feel that maybe I've rushed through them, please ask in the comments below, and I will try and get back to you on a more personal level. So, in Virtue's the final trait, which is very good as well. Inspired Virtue. Virtues now apply the following boons to allies when activated. So that's when you've actually activated each one physically, rather than leaving it as a passive. You will be giving might, regen, or protection, according to which one you're using. So all very useful. So as well as healing with the Virtue of Resolve, you will actually give off some regeneration as well. So that's for a minor trait to be that low as well, the first in 5 points, it really does go well with Radiance. So it does feel like this is really the way to play this bunker support. It is so strong, everything just works well together, and when I play it, I feel kind of invincible. But you do still have to play it well. It's not one of these. It's not like a Hambo build where you can kind of just mindlessly swing your hammer and stun and be quite effective. I do argue that you still need to have a certain amount of skill to play it well, but I think you need to have a lot more knowledge of how to play Guardian in this kind of build as well. So I'm just going to quickly show you a couple of things. Just show you how much you can heal possibly on a dodge, and also how you can use the actual block on the focus to actually down if I can find an enemy to attack. Okay, so here we go. The point isn't to win against this guy. I just want to try and get some death down. Okay, so there I dodged 1.352. Just going to use Resolve, which will give me regeneration, which you can see there. Healed me as well. Just going to dodge. That's again 1.352. Just going to dodge again 1.352. So you can see from there that that's pretty good. So removing condition, and I'm going to just use Save Yourselves just to get some speed to get out of there, so I can reset this, and I can show you with the Mace trait. So as you can see, strength in numbers permanently up. It's flashing, it's permanently up. That should mean that it's working pretty much the whole time while I'm in combat. So when I'm in combat, that trait will be activated. It's not actually activated when you're out of combat, so just to make sure that you're noted that. So I'm going to change that trait now. We'll change it to Mace of Justice. As you can see, my healing has now gone up to, when I switch, it goes up to 1.473. That is where it changes. It's not just a combat thing, it is an actual full-time thing, and when you switch back to stuff it goes down, so it does actually switch out of combat, which is quite effective and quite good. Okay, so I'm going to show you how much healing I do with that trait now. 1602, so there is a significant difference in how much I healed. And it will affect all my healing skills. So it's really up to you how you play that. I mean, in the end, you can see I'm probably not using all the best skills for killing this engineer at the moment. So I'm just going to kill him, and then I can show you just how you'd normally use the focus skill if you want to try and actually go for the down. Then it's optional. You know, you've got many options on. Stop running around. See, I actually had my Aegis up there, so I blocked the knockback as well. So I'm just going to quickly use a heal. So here, if I didn't have stability, I didn't have anything else, I could blind on shift 1, and I can use my block for blocking attacks. He's going to be trying to attack me. He's not being able to get that, and I'm going to be able to get the down. And that includes any kind of knockback as well. But other than fear can actually get through that. But yeah, so basically, that's just a couple of things. I do have a YouTube video which I'll link in the comment as well, which I've actually played as this spec, and I will try and upload some more videos. I do hope that this has helped you in any kind of way. Like I said, it's live on Twitch, so I am going through it in one go and potential to have forgotten some bits and pieces. Just to quickly explain, renewed focus is it does make yourself invulnerable and choose. So if you are going to use this, remember, while you're in it, you can use virtues. But look, the recharge. People really forget this. Someone mentioned it to me the other day, and I actually thought, I do this as well. When I'm playing the guy, I kind of forget in the heat of a fight, when I'm trying to survive, I do forget sometimes that I can use those I must use those virtues before, because otherwise I'm wasting free cooldowns. Most of the time they're probably been used because I've used this, but sometimes I do forget. So yeah, that's quite a last important point there. So, like I said, people play this build a lot already. People know this build, but I have had a lot of requests just for me to explain it. And yeah, so hopefully you've enjoyed this. And yeah, check me out on twitch.tv/JebroUnity, youtube.com/UnityJebro, and my Twitter is @JebDan. Thank you for getting involved yourself today, and I will see